Hello and welcome everybody. What is going on? So this is MiaSanMiaTV, and I asked you guys for the last weeks or so to ask me some questions about anything really, just because it's that time of the year again. It's the end of the year, and I decided, you know what, let me just answer a few questions here and there. I don't really try to make this channel about me so much as I try to make it about Bayern. But I guess once a year I do these kind of videos. Obviously last year I made a video on how I started MiaSanMiaTV and how I started becoming a football fan, which I'll leave in the description down below. And I thought this year I might as well do a Q&A video for if you guys have any questions to ask me. So here are the best questions that you guys have asked me throughout the whole week and so, and I'll try and answer them as honestly as I possibly can. I don't know whether the microphone is pretty good placement right now, so obviously I'll see that in post production. But anyway, let's get started with the first question, which comes from Twitter, which is by Thomas Ed Capitalist Pig, and he asked Sauer oder Rotkraut. I'm guessing he means Blaukraut. Definitely not sauerkraut. I don't mind it really, but definitely Blaukraut. Just tastes much better, and there's just a much more variety. It tastes much better with potato starch, so I'm definitely saying Blaukraut. Definitely not sauerkraut. I don't really mind it, but its use is very limited. And so yeah, I'm definitely going with Blaukraut. Next question, which comes from Phil at Raritan17, and he asks, what chances do you give us on winning the Champions League? And I think our chances this year are probably at about 40%. Out of the usual three suspects, obviously Bayern, Barcelona, and Real Madrid, I'm giving us 40% chance. I'm giving Barcelona 30% chance, and I'm giving Real Madrid 30% chance. I think we are probably the favourites this year, and the reason for that is quite simple. Real Madrid, I've been saying this for a year now, but I guess I've been proven wrong the whole time. For me, they're basically looking it out right now, and I just don't see how they can keep that up. When they're supposed to lose, they get a draw. When they're supposed to draw, they get a win. So one day it's got to stop that. And I think once that kind of luck spree runs out, that is when they're going to come crashing down. So for me, Real Madrid aren't the favourites. And besides the fact that obviously no team has won the Champions League twice in a row, I think that plays a huge factor too. And Barcelona, I just don't. It's the same problem every year, really, but I just don't see them good enough defensively to really go that far. Yes, they're attacking outscore most teams, but I think against Real Madrid or even. I think against a Real Madrid or even a Juventus, they would really struggle. Like I said, those are the three suspects: us, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. But then obviously you have your usual suspects, which are Juventus and Atletico Madrid. This year I'm not including PSG, but instead I'll include Dortmund because I think their attack is that good. But obviously they have defensive struggles, so they're not quite as good as obviously Juventus and Atletico. But I'm just putting them into that dark horse ballpark. Out of those three, I think that Juventus and Atletico, they'll get to the semi-finals, but I don't think they're going to get any more than semi-finals, and the reason for that is that I still think there are deficiency within their team. Atletico Madrid, I just don't think their style. I don't know. For me, every time I look at them, I don't see them really getting far, but then they always do get far, so who am I to really say anything? And Juventus, I just don't think they're going to get that far with Higuain. I think with Higuain, they're going to win a lot, but I don't think the Champions League is really that moment that he's going to shine at. So unless they play, obviously, the other strikers, I don't see Higuain having that big of an influence in the Champions League. But that's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion on the player, and obviously him being their main striker. I do think they're good enough to really get far, but I don't think they're just quite there yet to win the Champions League, in my opinion. So, yeah, like I said, the chance of us winning the Champions League, I'd probably give it 40% in terms of, like, the big three. And probably, overall, I'd probably give it, like, 30% if we include every single team. I think, let's say 33%. I think we've got a 1 in 3 chance of winning it this year. So, 33% is my prediction of our chance of winning the Champions League. Anyway, let's go to the next question, which comes from FCBC AIH from Kranjanic, and he asks, he's always on Twitter, he asks, what are your hopes and expectations for the next year, and how you celebrate New Year? So I'll answer the first question. What are your hopes and expectations for the next year? good football. Good football. That's always my expectation. That's always my hope. I always want us to see play. I always want to see us play good football, just because that makes me happy. And most of the time, good football is also successful football. So that's just my main hopes, and that's just my main hope and expectation, really, to have to for us to play good football, to play attractive football, to play good football. Overall, the whole package. Good, successful, attractive football. And how do I celebrate New Year? Well, I'm currently at my grandparents in Germany. I'm probably gonna fly. My flight is booked for the 30th to go back home. So New Year, I'll probably be sleeping. To be fair, just because I'll probably be jet lagged. But I don't know. I don't know. I might go to a party, or I might work. I probably work. Because not a lot of people work on the 31st. So yeah, that's that. I don't really know. I haven't really made a plan yet. I'm just kind of spontaneous, so I'll see what happens on New Year, and I'll see whether I can find a good party or not. But we'll see when I get home. So that's that. Anyway, next question, which comes from YouTube, Kimroy Christie. What career are you, or would you like to pursue? Well, I'm currently studying law. So obviously, probably in a legal sector or legal field once I finish studying. But ultimately, I don't really. For me, I never really wanted to pursue a profession. I never really wanted to pursue a career. For me, the only reason why I'm doing law, first of all, I get a broad understanding of obviously the legal sector, the legal field. But ultimately, my main goal, my main aspiration is to own my own company. Because I think for me, it's always been a case of I don't want to be stuck in a profession where my salary is ultimately capped. Where I'm kind of where I'm expected to make this kind of money every single day throughout the year, throughout the tenure that I'm there. For me, I really want to I wouldn't want to be a profession where there is a limitless potential. So I ultimately want to start my own company. Ultimately, that because I think that if I can bring that up, obviously, I think it's like 75% of all companies, probably even higher. 75% of all companies fail within the first year, and I think it's like 20% of the rest of the companies fail on the second year. So obviously, that's a huge hurdle. But I do think that once I have the necessary funds, which is why I'm obviously doing law, what that I can do, I can maybe be in the profession for a year, 2 or 3, and then once I've got enough money saved up, I can then try and start my own company. And obviously, if that doesn't work out, I can always fall back on my career. So I guess the right answer would be either a shareholder in a big company or the owner of a big company. So that's ultimately the career that I'm trying to pursue. Be the boss. That's ultimately all there is really to it. And it's another question from Kimroy Christie, which is also obviously on YouTube. He asked, "What is your relationship status?" I'm currently single. And yeah, I think that's a pretty straightforward answer. I'm pretty single. I don't know how to expand on that, so I'll just leave it at that. Next question, which is for the Q&A, are you a virgin? No, I'm not. I've lost it about 6 years ago, and that's all there really is to it. Like I said, I could expand on that, to be fair, but I don't really think that is really, should I say, PG-18. But I don't really want to expand on that because obviously I don't know who's watching. I have looked at my demographic, and there are a lot of children watching. So let's not go too much in detail. Next question, which obviously that question came from JDM3 on YouTube. And the next question was come from Brian Mendes. Since when have you been a Bayern fan? I'll leave that in the description on because I made a video about that. Like I said, exactly a year ago today, on the 25th, actually, not the 24th, but I made that exactly pretty much a year ago today. But in a nutshell, 2006, the World Cup in 2006. Before that, I was more of a player fan. I really liked Oliver Kahn. He was my hero as a child. Sami Kufa, he was also a hero as a child. Me playing football, I always had like 2 or 3 players that I really looked up to. But then when 2006 came around, and the whole World Cup happened, and I was still living in Germany, and I saw how big football really was to the people, how big football really was to everyone. Really, everyone that was anyone really knew about football. So 2006 was really the time when I was like, you know what? Let's move from being a player fan to a Bayern fan. And then slowly over time, I think it was 2010 when when I just became a full out football fan, which means that I basically watched every single team at every single league as much as I can. So from 2006, I was a Bayern fan. I tried to watch every single Bayern game itself. And after 2010, I was like, okay, you know what? I just love football. Let's try and watch every single game of every single team of every single match of every single league as well. So 2006 and 2010, those are like the two big turning points for me. But yeah, that's really answering that question. Really, let's move on to the next question, number 8, from Rushad Sinner. Do you think Rudy would be more like how he played Rode, which was basically nothing? Yes, yes. The short answer is yes. I probably, if I had to elaborate on that, I've said it before, but I don't really see how Rudy would fit in. So I'm not really gonna, I won't really be able to judge that because I don't know if he's supposed to be like a replacement, if he's supposed to be like a mainstay, or if he's just supposed to be like like basically like a roader kind of deal where he comes in for free, we play him, he might improve a little bit, he might not improve, he might actually show his qualities. If he does show his qualities, we can sell him. If he doesn't show his quality, we keep him essentially, or well, we ultimately sell him as well, but for less money. So I do think so, yes. Although I think we're gonna play him a little bit more than we did Roda, just because he can play as a right back, and our options right now, or our options won't be that big in a year or two. So unless we obviously make another purchase, so I think he's gonna play a little bit more. I think he's gonna be much more like Weiser, where he actually he played quite a few games, but then he was still ultimately sold. And I think that's gonna be the same with Rudy. He's gonna play quite a few games, but ultimately he's gonna be sold. So that's just my take on Rudy. But the next question comes from YouTube as well. For the Q&A, who do you think has been a difference maker in the team so far? Thiago. If you're talking about this season, definitely Thiago. Thiago, for me, he's been superb. He's been outstanding. He's the glue really that has kept everything together. And yeah, he's the glue that has really kept everything together, and he's the reason, in my opinion, that even when we've been struggling, we've still looked okay at times. As the midfielder, still looked okay at times. And for me, like I said, he's been our best player of the season so far, and that's just a logical thing that he's been a difference maker, in my opinion. If we just talk about the beginning of the season, I probably would have said Kimmich, because obviously he was in midfield, he did a great job there, but he also scored the crucial goals to help us get those wins, to help us get those draws. But if you're talking overall the season as a whole, I'd definitely say Thiago for me, in my opinion. Although our attack, I think, has actually been pretty good as well. Obviously, difference maker, you talk about which player has really helped you get the win, which player has really helped you get the draw. But I think overall, Thiago has just had such a huge impact on every aspect of the game, on every aspect of the field, that for me, it has to be him. Despite him not really chipping in with the goals or chipping in with the assists, I just think his role is a bit too understated right now. I think he's probably been the best player in Europe this season so far, which is a huge praise because obviously there are some magnificent players out there, but I think he's just been that good so far. That's just my take though. But I'll get to the next question, which comes from Konstantin Daskalov, who asked for the Q&A. Do you think that Bayern will make a big name signing in the summer? Hazard, Verratti, etc. That's a difficult question to answer because we've been linked with Verratti for a little bit now. We've been linked. Second Ancelotti joined Bayern. We've been linked with him because obviously he was the one that gave Verratti his debut. But I don't think we're going to get Hazard. I know a lot of people are expecting us to get Hazard. A lot of people are not expecting, but a lot of people are hoping we'll get Hazard. But I think if we had any chance to get him, it would have been last season, last summer. Obviously, with him having such a terrible season, that is probably the season where you could have expected him to be sold. But now that he's scoring goals again and looking great again, I don't think he's going to be sold. Especially considering the fact that unless he actually wants to leave, which at this point there has been no indications whatsoever, I don't see him moving. The one big name that I could possibly see, honestly, I don't think I can see anyone. I'm thinking right now, but I don't think I can see anyone. I think I don't know. That's the short answer. I don't know. So I'm guessing no. I don't think Bayern will make any big name signings. Because I don't think we have that much deficiencies in the squad, and I don't think we're gonna make a big name signing this year. I think we're gonna make a big name signing next year, and I'm guessing with big name signing, you're talking about like 60 million plus. I think we're gonna go for like another youngster, a very highly rated youngster. Who that youngster is right now, I can't really say, but I think we're gonna go for another highly rated youngster, and we're gonna pay a lot of money for that, similar to how we pay a lot of money for Sanchez. I think we're gonna pay a lot of money for another youngster. But I don't think we're gonna splash the cash on like say a Bale or a Hazard or that kind of player. I don't see that happening just yet. Maybe in a year or two, once Robin and Ribery have actually retired, then yes, I do see us doing that. But this season, that's a definite no in my opinion. I think we're gonna go for more talent than actually established players. Anyway, for the next question, which comes from Twitter from Alicia Altaria at Frabulous72. She asked, will the old guard, that's Bayer Leverkusen, Gladbach, and Schalke, kind of giving up on Wolfsburg to be fair, climb back to the European places? I'm going to include Wolfsburg here as well, just because I think that they're the recent old guard, if that makes sense. So let's start with Bayern 04. I've got, like I said, for me, I mentioned that my podcast thing. I only did like one episode so far. I'm planning on doing this regularly, like a weekly thing into the new year once I have a little bit of time. But Bayern 04, I think that they do, they have enough quality to really do that. And I'm a huge believer in Roger Smith. So for me, he has to do well. They have to do well, and they have to get far. They have to get far. They have to they'll definitely get into the European place, and I think they'll do quite well in the Champions League. Obviously, they've got Atletico Madrid. I don't think they're going to get past Atletico Madrid, but it would be very entertaining to see their all-out attacking style versus Atletico Madrid all-out defensive style. I think it's going to make for a very entertaining match. I think they'll finish. I think they'll finish fifth. I think fifth place is where they'll finish at. Bayern 04. Then you look at Gladbach. They've now got Hecking. They obviously released Schubert. I don't know, because I think Hecking, it might take a while for Gladbach to really adopt his style. So for me, Gladbach, they'll probably finish like 6th or 7th. Schalke, they've been on a run, so Schalke, they struggled at the beginning of the season, but I still think they're on a run right now and they're doing really well. So for me, Schalke, they'll probably finish 6th. They'll probably finish 6th, just because obviously I don't really expect their youth players, the young players, to do so well just yet. So 6th in the next season, I think I'll be in top 4. But that obviously last up Wolfsburg. No, Wolfsburg, it's just a disaster right now, Wolfsburg. I mean, the players, they don't want to play for Wolfsburg. The players, they want to leave. And if your players want to leave, a majority of your players want to leave, then that's just it. That's just it, really. There's not much you can do. You can't really motivate them if they want to leave. So for me, no, Wolfsburg, I don't see they're going to finish in a European place. For me, they'll probably finish like 8th or 9th or so. Not that great to be fair. So let's move on to the next one. Next question, which also comes from Twitter from Brian at BrianMath15. Do you think Sulik deal gets done? Reports from Bild conflict with Ollie's comments. Yes, I think Sulik will probably get bought on the 2nd of January. Why am I so precise? Because I just have a good feeling that it's going to be the 2nd of January. Either 2nd of January or probably the 28th of December. One of them two, one or the other, and that's just my take on it. I think he's definitely going to get sold. I think Uli Hoeneß and Rummenigge really wouldn't have come out and said anything if the deal wasn't pretty much done. And I think we've already settled personal terms with him. I think all we need to do right now is settle terms with Hoffenheim, and that really shouldn't drag out too long. That really shouldn't drag out too much, because if they wait too long, then they won't have the kind of bargaining power that they do. So I do think it's gonna get done within like the next week or two, and I don't see any reason why that won't be done. I'm hoping it won't be done, because obviously recently with a lot of players, when we try to sign them, we've really bargained for like an extra million or two, and that has caused us to lose a few players here and there. So I really hope that's not the case anymore. I really hope that we're actually going to put our foot down and get him, and spend that little bit of cash on him, because he is one for the future, and he is one that I want to see at Bayern. So that's my take on that. Let's move on to the next question. At Sko Bazangle, same really. If you had to choose your first club you want to coach, which club would it be? And Bayern isn't allowed to. I don't think from a first club I wouldn't have loved to coach Bayern, because the pressure would just be too much. I'd much rather work with a smaller team and work my way up than work with a big team right at the beginning and then ultimately have that pressure of either you have to succeed or you have to fail. And if you succeed, then you're under too much pressure for the rest of your career. And if you fail, then you know people will doubt whether you can coach a team. So for me, I'd much rather start with a small team. If I had to coach my first club, where would I coach? Which club would I coach? I don't know about a specific club. I'll probably some team in the second league, whether that's Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, or the Premier League. I don't really know. Probably Premier League because they play the most. They pay the most, so I'll probably go to the Premier League. But obviously, it's dictated by money, so it wouldn't just be so much about coaching as well. It would be who would be my staff, who would be my scouts and whatnot. Actually, no, I'll work in a Bundesliga just because you have a team around you. You're not just the sole person in charge of everything. So a club in the second division, I don't know. The short answer is really I don't know. Um, you know what? I'll go. I'll go with Spanish. I'll go with the La Liga and I'll go with Atletico Bilbao. They just have such a strict policy that ultimately the board has already made the decisions. The board is going to make the decisions. Where they're mostly signing Basque players, and so from that standpoint, I really think that I wouldn't have that much to do besides obviously on the tactical aspect, on the training aspect, and if it's just that, then I think I could do well. If it's everything included as well, I don't think I could do well. So if it's just the tactical aspect, I do think I can do well. But I think everyone says that until they actually kind of get destroyed. Just look at Gary Neville; he's an expert. He's supposed to be smart. He has some very smart. He has some very smart comments and whatnot. But then when he actually became a coach, he kind of struggled a lot. So I'll try a team in Spain. I'll probably be at Atletico Bilbao, either them, or I'll try my hands on Sevilla. I know that's a very big club. I'll try my hands with Sevilla because I think they have very excellent players and I think they could do very well. I think I could do very well with them to the point where I can really raise them up from being a good team into a great team. But ultimately, I think my first team will probably be some team in the second league. I just can't think of a name right now. But someone in the second league who then can help get promoted and then move on from there. Help them get promoted and help them stay in the league for like a 2 years period or so. Then move on to the next club, which is like a medium club, and then help them get into like top clubs. And then then go to a top club and help them become into the best club in the world. That'd be my ultimate trajectory plan. But I'd have to be a team from the second league, and I can't think of one right now, so I can't really answer that. But I'll say Sevilla, although they're not really in second league. But I just really like them. I just think they have great players, and I think I do pretty well with them. So that's my take. Next question, which comes from Bundesliga blog at Bundesliga Rama, and he asked, do you envision other clubs getting taken over by paid sponsors in the RB Leipzig style? Yes, I do. I just think with the comments and everything that have come out lately, from prominent figures, I'm mainly talking about Oli Hoeneß right now, but from people that have that are actually in power, in charge of the Bundesliga, I do think that we're going to see much more models of that, where the 50 plus 1 rule is essentially avoided, but just having members that are from a particular company, from a particular sponsors. I think at the beginning it will only be like 1 or 2 clubs, but give it 20 years or so and we'll see a majority of that, as much as I don't like to see it. But I think that's going to be the case, where fan ownership really won't exist anymore, because if you look at the 50 plus 1 rule in the first place, that really is illegal in terms of European law. So that's that. I don't think that's going to hold up much longer. The more successful Leipzig is, the more other teams will try and emulate them. So that's my take on that. Let's move on to the next question. Actually, no, that was the last question. So that was the Q&A for this year. It's 25 minutes. Wow. I hope I answered most questions in style. Let's just have a quick look at the questions again and see whether I have not answered them in style. The first question was obviously Sauer or Rotkraut. Blaukraut, obviously, easy. Blaukraut. Next one, our chance to give us in the Champions League. 40%, 33%. 40% top 3 from the top 3 clubs, 33% overall. What are your hopes and expectations for the next year? Good football. And how do you celebrate New Year? I have no idea. I really don't know. What career I would like to pursue? My company, like I said. What is your relationship status? I'm single right now. Are you a virgin? No, I've not been since I've been 13, which was 7 years ago. Which was a very awkward moment. Like the first time was so awkward. It was just a case of what we're doing. What's going on right now? What's going on? What's going on? So first time was very awkward. And since then it's been much better, a lot better, so good actually. In fact, but moving on to the next question. Since when have you been a Bayern fan? That's 2006, really. If you're talking about just Bayern fan, 2006. If you're talking about a football fan in general, 2010 probably. Do you think Rudy would be more like how he played Rode? Yes. Although I think he's probably going to be much more like he played Weiser in his last year, where he played a significant amount of time. So not quite a Rode style, but more of a Weiser style. Last year Weiser style. Who do you think has been a difference maker in the team so far? Thiago, easy, Thiago. Do you think Bayern will make a big name signing in the summer? No, not this summer. I think next summer definitely. This summer I just don't see it. I really just don't see it. And if I can't see it, I'm not gonna say yes. So yeah. Leverkusen, Gladbach, Schalke, and Wolfsburg, where will they finish? Leverkusen, I think they'll finish 5th. Gladbach, I think they'll finish around 7th, 8th maybe. Schalke, I think they'll finish around 6th. And the Wolfsburg, they're not going to finish in a European place or anywhere close to that, in my opinion. So no. Do you think the Sula deal gets done? Yes, I do. And my first club to coach, probably, like I said, probably Sevilla, just because I think they're a very attractive team. But ideally, someone in a second league, someone in a lower league. And I can't really think of like a lower league that a lower league team that I would really like to join right now. So I can't really give a team name. No, I really can't. I really can't. Probably something like Newcastle. So the club with like quite a good amount of history. Um, Newcastle or Leeds, something like that, and then help them try and get promoted, and then from there we'll see where it goes. So something like that, a team where you have a lot of history, where you have a lot of excellent memories, but they're ultimately struggling right now, and you can help them get back up. You can help them get back on their feet, and obviously they'll need as much as a motivator as a tactician, and I think I could be both. I think I'm an excellent speaker. I think I motivate people when I really need to, because you know what? My words are wisdom. I speak with gold. My tongue is silver. I don't know what that means, and I just made that up. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a great faker. That's the best thing. I'm a great faker. So yeah, I'll go with Leeds. I'll go with Leeds. No, I'll go with Newcastle. I'll go with Newcastle, and yeah, that probably be my first club I'd want to coach. Next up, do you think Envision over clubs can take over in the RB Leipzig style? Yes, absolutely. I think the more successful Leipzig is, the sooner that will happen. And it's just the way it is. I just kind of, obviously the Bundesliga has been trying to avoid that kind of model for a few years now, but that's not really worked out. Because you look at, obviously Leipzig is the big one. Then you look at Ingolstadt as well with Audi. Then you look at Wolfsburg, obviously with Wolfsburg. I know obviously they're a little bit different there, because they were actually made by workers and whatnot, but they're not in the Leipzig style, where it's just made just exclusively for promotion and advertising. So obviously there's a difference there, but I do think the more successful Leipzig is, the more that kind of model will expand in Germany. And I think soon we'll see maybe like a Lidl FC, a Aldi FC. Maybe in Germany we'll see like a Edeka FC. I don't know. You'll kind of see that kind of model, where like soon you'll see like supermarkets and Coca-Cola FC, or you'll have Burger King FC versus McDonald's FC. And I just think ultimately that's where football is heading. Not that I want to see that happen, but I think ultimately that's where football is heading, where companies will just make clubs just to promote and advertise. But I can definitely see like a Monster FC, the Monster energy drink, because I think with energy drinks, those really fit, being related to sport. So I think that's what's going to happen in the future. I think it's going to be linked. We're going to see much more energy drinks like Lucozade and whatnot be linked, or have a football club. And it's just the model that football is heading right now. Not so much I don't think it's going to happen that much in Germany, but I do think it's going to happen a lot more in Europe, and then ultimately Germany will have to follow suit as well, because it won't be able to sustain itself. But that's my take, though, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. I wish you guys a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a happy New Year, everyone. Peace out, everyone, and have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of the year, and hopefully you get an even better year next year. Peace out, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye.